Okay, call a meeting to order. We can, rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, do I hear a motion to adopt tonight's agenda? I would make that motion to adopt it.
Before you do that, you'll see the agenda that has red.
Yeah.
Those are items that I put on after I had posted the agenda.
Okay, a motion to adopt the agenda with added agenda items under the town manager's report.
Yes, I would do that.
The second, any comments or questions by the
Can
board?
you tell us what the additions are? Because we have old.
Oh, yes, it's in the red. It's Lake Valley Trails, RRPC contract, road erosion inventory, update on South Street Bridge, and local hazard mitigation plan. Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
No.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Approval of minutes of 3/10/25.
I found one, I did see one typo on there. I had Ellen Cisco's name spelled wrong.
Okay. I hear a motion to accept the minutes. 3/10/25. Any comments or questions by the board? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. To the road report.
Sorry, about Slate Valley Travel with me first. Truck 3 replacement, the 2025 F600 is ordered, and we should have that in a couple of weeks, cabin chassis only, and then it's going to sit for a while. I did speak to the GM at Formula Ford, and they're going to hold the warranty until the work is complete at the outfitter. Then the outfitter, when it's ready for us to pick it up or for them to drop it off, they're going to come
Here in New York.
and then the warranty will start at that point in time instead of losing almost a year's worth of,
Yeah.
you know, the warranty time frame. So
Down.
so that's done. The new boom mower, we found a replacement for the boom mower, which is very, very similar, minus tractor size. Is slightly different, but otherwise it's pretty much identical. Controls are identical.
Moves the same height. It's gonna lower.
It's actually 2 feet. It's actually 2 feet longer.
Oh,
So, well, extension wise.
Yeah.
So it, but otherwise it's kind of like the big twin of the previous one. So
We have a tractor that we have a tractor for it.
No, that's a tractor.
it's the whole unit right there. That's the whole unit. And the carrier, the hauler felt really bad about what happened with the previous one. So he's gonna go get it himself personally, at no cost of the town, and bring it back. And we should have it Saturday evening or this Sunday.
oh, good. Very good.
The 140 steel plate job that we did for the filling the culvert there, came out pretty good. And, we're just gonna keep kind of going back out periodically to reassess it and make sure the plate corners aren't sticking up too far. There's one that kind of, you probably noticed it, Cheryl.
They cut in the middle, no cars are coming, go in the middle and smooth it. If you go to
I'm moving a
you go to
little.
the right. it's-
Yeah, it's shifting a little bit, but I'm sure that's the material settling as the vibration of, you know, Parker Waterwell's trucks going over it and everybody else that's got a lot of way done. Otherwise that's good until we do the permanent fix for it. And, that's really all I've got.
Okay. Any questions for Joel?
Thanks for letting us use the signs, the caution signs and all the cones.
Oh, you're welcome.
But
Absolutely.
I do have to say, we put the cone right by the dump, and as soon as we put it, we walked across and put up the sign, and a guy came down from the transfer station, turned the corner, hit the sign, and it broke. So you have a cone that has a big piece of it. We turned around and like, yeah, he cut the corner and hit the sign that was on the side, so one of the cones is
Goes without saying.
broken,
So
so.
we'll just transfer that portion of your
Yeah.
salary to.
Yes, to the cone,
Okay.
cone made. But we still should get signs that say, I was thinking for biking events that say caution events, like special events, so we can use it more, then we can use it for East Poultney Day, Bagel Fest, all the events we have.
Yeah, I'm totally
Yeah,
on
it's good.
board with putting in an order and anything that you guys
That we all
You
use
know,
together, so we can just rotate. it.
use. We could make that happen and then I'll just start a sign out sheet. So if anybody needs anything more than what you particularly order for certain events, then we can do that for town events or something.
It was great just for the way the tractor was and coming off 140 and slowing the traffic down, just putting those 6 cones in and then the one big sign that said caution.
Yeah.
These people saw it, so it was,
Mhm.
yeah, so I was thinking we should have an event one, so
Good deal.
Good.
good, thank
Yeah,
you.
generic signs would be very good
Yeah,
event
then we can all kind of use
in
it for them.
progress.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good,
thank
thank
you,
you.
Joel.
You're welcome.
You guys.
On to community development.
I have a few things tonight because I wasn't able to make it to the last meeting, so, the first thing that I wanted to share with the board, several of you were there, but, the garage property feasibility study was kicked off on February 25th. We had a site visit to the existing garage, and met with the contractors and, a committee of folks who had, information about the sites. So that is underway, and the architect, Vermont Integrated Architecture out of Middlebury is doing their work right now. I sent them some follow-up materials that they requested from the town clerk's office. On the same day was the community trust meeting that I have been working with PDRC just sort of minimally to organize that. It was a great meeting. It was held at the library. We had folks from Preservation Trust of Vermont and Cedar there and the Elmore community. So I think there was about 25 or 30 people that came out to that.
Well attended.
Yeah, it was really
Good
well
questions.
attended.
Yeah.
Lots of good questions. And at this point, PDRC, Laura is really taking the lead and following up on that. And I'm keeping in touch with them about, any kind of information they might need or to help them. There is a follow-up meeting being scheduled, I think in the next couple of weeks for that. So if anyone's interested in it, you should talk to Laura Williams at PDRC. What happened after that? So the Town to Trail Steering Committee met March 4th to review proposals for the ORR garage property study. This is the study that's looking at the town garage site as a potential outdoor recreation hub. So the committee reviewed 3 proposals and made a recommendation for an award to the contracting firm. It's a team. It's Siteform Studio and Valansky Studio, landscape architecture and an architectural firm out of Stowe. So we are in the process of contracting with that team and plan to kick off that project in I think it's April 1st is the first meeting. And then let's see, March 18th, Cheryl, Paul and I had a kickoff meeting with EcoPixel to work on the website for Poultney Recreation. So we have all of the information that we need on the website for the upcoming summer rec program. And
Good.
it will have forms and it will have payment options this year. So we're working on that. Cheryl's taken on a lot of the work as the rec director and collecting all that information. And then the other thing to share with the board is just the MERC projects. So that is really my highest priority right now. And that is sort of in a pre-construction phase in terms of organizing bid documents, kind of taking an approach to project management. And I also had a meeting with Johnson Controls, which is a company that reached out to us about ways that they could support the the MERT projects. So that meeting took place last week, and I still need to review follow-up materials as to whether or not that's the right fit for these projects. But if all goes well, I'm hoping to have bids out or bid documents out by the end of April. So I will be coming to many of you with questions over the next month about the specific buildings, and Paul and I will be meeting to figure out how to approach that specifically in terms of project management, I think. And that's it.
Right,
Thank you, Sarah.
thank you. Any questions for Sarah?
The information.
Good job.
That's what happens when I don't come to a meeting.
When Nick raises his hand.
Okay, thank you, Sarah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
always-
Slate Valley Trails. Somebody raise their hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick Stark. looks-
Nick did?
Hey all. I just wanted to mention that the community public trust meeting is this Wednesday at 5:30, I believe, at the Journal Press building. And even if you didn't make it to the first one, you're welcome to come to this one, and we'll fill you in on all the stuff we learned last time. So hope to see some folks there.
Okay, thank you, Nick.
So,
Thanks.
Nick, what
Yes.
is that encompass though, the community trust?
Basically, it's looking at a couple potential projects that have been percolating in the community for a while now. And in our first meeting, we invited, as Sarah mentioned, the Preservation Trust and Cedar. But basically, the idea of this meeting would be, is there a working group that's emerging and a prioritized project around which we could organize and begin developing a community trust to tackle the project.
Good.
He's pulled his stories for him, so there's a couple projects.
Good. I just get it with trust stuff. You put.
Thank you, Nick.
Sure thing.
Town managers report.
So
So,
Courtney from Slate Valley Trails had asked me to put it on the agenda. Of course, I forgot. But she wants to kind of give us an update on where they are.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing, right, Courtney?
Yeah.
So I'll give you the floor.
And I brought Greg with me too, Greg O'Brien. Greg is our president on the board, so he's a wealth of knowledge and he's been with SPT for a long time. This is like the third time I think I've come to speak to this group, I'm pretty sure, but we're trying to reach local civic groups and give them, heads up of what's coming up in the year and what our goals are and what we've accomplished so far. So this is also our 10th anniversary, which is really exciting. To think back.
really, it's
Yeah.
been that long?
Yeah, so 2015, 10 miles of trail, 2025, 60 miles of trail. So it's pretty unheard of that trails are developed that quickly and now
That's
it's like
fantastic.
professionally maintained, so we're doing a good job, but I'll let Greg go ahead and take over.
No, last year you gave an excellent presentation, so
Yeah.
you got a lot to live up
I was
to.
gonna say the pressure's on now.
Go ahead.
Yes, gosh, it feels so short that we were just here a year ago. But like this, you guys just said 10 years passed in the blink of an eye. So yeah, it's the big celebration for SVT this year. It's 10 years in the community. And really excited about what's been accomplished and what's to come. We've gone over the mission before. As you can see it on the screen, build, maintain, and promote foot and bicycling trails in the Slate Valley region of southwestern Vermont. And there's a few key pillars there is promoting outdoor recreation, supporting the local economy, and building community. And thanks to all of you and our community partners, we feel like we're doing a good job achieving those goals. So the board of directors currently has, I believe it's 13 members, 11 adult members and 2 youth members. And this year we have a few openings just based on term limits and people stepping off the board. So I think we have 4 openings in total. If we fill them all, great. If we don't, no problem there too. But if you know anybody that is interested in joining the board, we're open for nominations right now and for adults and youth members. And the youth member, we started that about 2 years ago.
It's great.
The first, what's that?
I said, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so it's a 1 year term. The first year we did one youth member, and then this past year we did 2 youth members, just power in numbers. You know, if a youth member has a friend that they feel connected to, they might be more empowered to speak up in a group of adults. And that's gone pretty well. So we're hoping to replicate that again this year.
Yeah.
In 2025. Slate Valley Trails has 3 paid staff members. Courtney, of course, who you all know, as our director of operations. And then we have a trails manager, Harry. I don't even try and pronounce his last name.
Giordano.
And a maintenance crew member, John Moody.
Yep.
And so Harry and John, they're both seasonal full-time employees. Harry's started for the year right about now, right?
He's gonna start in May.
Oh, okay, a little later. And they'll work through the fall. And so that allows us to have professionally maintained trails, keeping them in the best shape possible to provide the best experience possible and keep people coming back.
Yeah. Cool. Good.
Wow. That was fast.
That's it?
Well, we have some more, but he introduced us.
I'm handing off the baton now. The star of the show can speak.
Yeah, so in 2024, there's definitely a ton of accomplishments, but I'm just gonna go through the quick hits and the highlights. And I love this photo of our kids from youth mountain bike camp. But our professional maintenance, they performed over 1,500 hours on trail sustainability projects, general maintenance, enhancements and upgrades. And we also had, with that, we had 1,000 just volunteer hours. So we started as completely volunteer driven organization. We don't want to lose that kind of grassroots volunteer capacity. So we really have this beautiful meshing sort of happening of our staff and our volunteers now. So our volunteers are still doing trail maintenance, but they're also showing up for events. They're doing some administrative work and more. We had a grooming program again this year. So we were able to, the winter, as everyone knows, was a true Vermont winter. And we were able to groom close to 13 miles of trail. So for fat biking, skiing, and snowshoeing. So that was really successful and brought some visitors as well. And that's completely 100% volunteer run program and many hours that go into that, which is pretty amazing. Our youth program, we expanded it. We really wanted to do this. It was a big goal last year. We were seeking grant funding, which we earned. And so we were able to partner with Poultney Rec again. Poultney Rec they give us their teen counselors. So we had, I think, 6 or 7 teens this year that works with the kids, but then we were able to hire professional adult coaches. And that allowed us to just grow the capacity of the program and do a full day. So we did 9 to 2 p.m. Kids ate lunch with us. We got a grant and we were able to provide healthy snacks to keep them moving. And we had so much fun. It was such a great couple of weeks. We also teamed up with Poultney High School and we offered an after-school bike program, which was really cool. And I'm hoping to do that again this year. So we still want to continue expanding, but we did make some huge leaps last year. We also did our 2 major fundraising events again, which brought over 300 participants locally and throughout the nation. We improved our website. We were using a GoDaddy site and it was working, but it just didn't function as well as we really wanted it to. So we again earned some more grant funding and hired a professional firm. So the website it's much more user friendly. And the other piece that's amazing is it has a new plan your visit piece. One of the biggest questions that I get, like, from trail users is, well, what should I do? What are the local attractions and where should I eat and where should I stay? So our plan your visit page has all of that in a one-stop shop, which is super cool. The final kiosk maps were designed and ordered and installed. They're some of the most beautiful kiosks. I think I'm totally biased. We have locally, harvested slate at the top, and the little tiles are all slate from local areas. And Nick designed them. They're just amazing. Go check them out if you haven't been up to Fairgrounds, Endless Brook, or the Country Club. What else? Oh, we offered our free weekly group Adjourn. And one thing SVT has always wanted to do is connect with the community and offer something for everyone. And we just want to get folks out on the trails. So we have bird walks. So the birders in your life or the nature lovers, it's at 7 a.m. So if you want to get up that early and go on a bird hike, they're pretty fun. But also group hikes, group dog walks now have been happening. We've got women's mountain bike series and just group mountain bike rides as well. So a lot going on. And then annual appeal, our goal was 25,000. We hit 30,000 this year, which is amazing. I compared that to VIMBA, which is like the statewide organization that, they did 60,000 for their annual appeal. I'm like, wow, we're like halfway to this like state organization. We have $30,000 coming in, just from individual donors, which is so exciting to see. Tag.
So something I put throw out there about the epic race is pretty neat. There's a Olympic mountain biker, or past Olympic mountain biker. She lives in Vermont. She's now a coach, and she brought 3 professional racers that she was coaching here this past summer to use the epic as a training race before they went out west.
Yeah.
For some of their race series. So just throwing that out there because these trails are recognized as really great training grounds for professional racers.
That's why you're up at 30,000.
Yeah. It helps. It helps. I
Yes,
think,
it does.
one thing we saw was after we started the professional maintenance program, the like online donations, I think people were using the trail, going home and like making a donation because they had such a good experience. And that's amazing. That helps fund more professional maintenance. So
Yes.
it works.
But now you have more than just biking too, which makes a
Yeah.
big difference. People are talking about
Hiking.
that, going up hiking, bird watching, that gets them on the trail up there to see it.
Yeah.
Which I think is nice. Also
Yeah,
doing
I'm
it.
glad you said that, Cheryl, because
Yeah.
we definitely don't want to just be mountain bike centric.
Right, no.
Vermont Mountain Bike Association sometimes paints us in that realm where we've always been foot and bicycling trails.
Yeah, it makes a difference. Good job.
So
Good
that's a
job.
perfect segue into this
Yeah.
next slide.
Looking ahead.
So for 10 years now, Slate Valley Trails has been in existence. We started off as a member of, and we still are a member of the Vermont Mountain Biking Association. And so the connotation with Vermont Mountain Biking Association is mountain biking. And since the beginning, Slate Valley Trails has really wanted to focus on being multi-use trail network for everybody, free of use, and people can become members to support the mission of the organization. So for 10 years now, a discussion has been, can SVT offer a membership of their own that speaks to trail users that aren't mountain bikers but want to support the organization because they're hikers, runners, bird watchers, dog walkers. And so this year, thanks to a big push from Courtney and the board as a whole, we're now launching the SVT Boots membership. And so this is a new membership option that's directly through SVT. Currently in the past, to become a SVT member, you joined through Vermont Mountain Biking Association, the statewide chapter. You became a member of VIMBA and SVT. VIMBA sent SVT some of the money from that membership. It's a great program, and we love VIMBA for all they do to support SVT. They provide our insurance, they help with our payroll organization. But people didn't always feel connected with VIMBA because of how they use the trails based on that mountain biking connotation. So the Boots membership is 100% SVT membership. You can join on the website.
Yeah, this is our page.
Courtney just
now,
clicked on.
bikes or boots.
And so the membership fee is a little lower because it comes with fewer benefits than the VIMBA membership does in terms of VIMBA offers downhill bike passes, discount codes for restaurants and sports shops throughout the state. But this keeps all of the money in the community. Now because of our partnership with VIMBA, we don't want to say, oh, you should do one or the other. But on the site, there's a couple little blurbs that help direct what might be right for you. So we're excited to launch this year.
Now, if you're VIMBA, are you also Boots on the Boots membership, or are they totally separate? Like if you're
Good question.
So when you're a Boots member, you're essentially a VIMBA member. You're taken into the fold. And I think
Okay.
the same can go for the VIMBA, you're a member.
If
I
you
mean,
pay to be a member, you can still do the boots.
You're-
stuff like that.
you're an SVT member, whether you're boots or bikes. Yeah.
There's no one out there checking you like.
No,
Back to
no, we definitely don't have the capacity for that.
No, we found that we had a lot of supporters that they wanted to donate to SVT, but they didn't want to join as members
Right.
because they didn't feel connected to VIMBA, the statewide organization, because they said, "Hey, I'm a hiker, I'm not a biker." So this is a way to offer another
Yeah, that's great.
option, become a member directly through SVT.
VIMBA's excited we're doing this too. We're kind of piloting and gathering data because they've heard this feedback for a long time that they need to offer a different membership. So we're going to be in contact with them and hopefully give them some good information that they can adopt as well. Okay, almost done here. So goals, we're going to continue to implement and refine our professional maintenance program. We're going to add more staff. So we are hiring right now for a part-time. We have a summer office job. They'd be working very closely with me to help support our fundraising efforts and also our events. So if you know anybody that wants a summer job, please let me know. We also are planning on providing some extra training and education for our volunteer trail stewards. Our stewards they essentially adopt a trail. They go out and they're the eyes and ears of that trail, and they communicate with me directly what's going on with their trail and if it needs if there's an emergency or whatever it could be. But we want to give them some more training. We're going to continue to work with Town to Trails, and we are going to continue to focus on youth programming. So we want to continue with the kids camp and also the Trailblazers program, which is getting teens working on the trails. But we also are going to try to add a weekly kids ride this year as well. We also are planning on we're trying to create more opportunities for folks to participate in the Epic. That race has sort of become known as like the hardest mountain bike race in New England. And it really is brutal. It's 40 miles and it's over 5,000 feet of climbing, and it's just intense. So this year we actually are offering a relay option, so you can do it with a friend and you only do half. You only do 20 miles.
Mini epic.
A mini epic. Yeah. And we've also reserved spots for women because we're trying to get more women to sign up. So we're hoping the relay is already showing like more youth participation, more women signing up, and that's really cool to see.
Bring more people to town for the weekend.
Bring more people to town, exactly. We want to expand our community outreach, so we're hoping just to continue to touch base with the local groups as much as we can, participate in the local events, like Maple Fest and the Chili Cook-Off and Poultney Arts Day. We really want to just make sure we're visible and we're being a part of all of those amazing local events. We are trying to create paper maps, which is very exciting, a big project, but now that the heart of the network is built, we can start actually printing and promoting. We've promoted in a very organic way as to not just blow up, but slow trickle, and the word is out. People know about it and they're definitely coming, but paper maps will help as well. We want to improve the Poultney River Loop with some better wayfinding. We want to add a kiosk in town. So we've actually are in talks with Nicole and what's her restaurant going to be called? I can't remember.
Tasteful Station.
Tasteful Station, yeah. So she's open to that idea. This is pending grant funding, but we're hoping to do that. Also hoping to enhance our signage efforts over at our other networks, Delaney Woods, Howe Hill, and the Dean Osborne Preserve. And the last very exciting bit that we're trying to do is this is a big goal, is create a progression park at the fairgrounds. And a progression park is basically like a skills zone or skills loop. So we think what that will do is parents that might not want to ride with their kids, you can just sit in the car and send them off and watch their kid do laps and still enjoy the trails without having to go out with them. That was a lot. Thank you so much for letting us come talk to you.
The kids from the high school for the summer program, summer park, did you have a good number of kids last summer?
We did.
Good.
Yeah, we did. Close to 50 kids. I think,
Oh, good.
for the youth program. Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Because I know we had some meetings on that, and Joe DeBonis was going after funding for.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the after school. So we had 5 kids participate in that after school bike club. The summer camp was over 50 kids.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're hoping to just continue to
We were
Kids
hoping it
are
would
riding
really
bikes.
take off.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds like it is.
It is. I mean, I've noticed being here, just like the amount of bikes in town even seem to be more.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that some in-town trail connections that we could create for kids would be amazing too.
50 kids, that's pretty good.
Oh, they were so cute. They had so much fun.
Patty, you got a question?
Yeah, on the membership for the PST boot club.
I think it's $30.
Okay.
Yeah, for an individual. And then if you were a family, it's 60, but your family can be as many.
Okay.
There's 12 kids.
Yeah, it could be 12, doesn't matter. Yeah. 2 or more.
All kids who pay taxes.
And there's somebody this weekend who's their mother and her father were one of 11.
Mhm. Yeah, know a lot of people like that. Nothing wrong with that. Thank you. Anybody have any questions? Any other questions?
Thank you both.
Thank you for your work. It's really, you are really helping.
Awesome. Well, we feel very honored to be here and yeah, it's exciting. Exciting to see.
I'm happy to see the younger ones getting involved, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best part is getting.
Because they're
kids
out there.
involved.
Yeah.
They're up there, they're
Yeah.
out.
Well,
They're out
it's-
inside.
It's
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we know that we want to try to get kids off screens and out, doing stuff and it's empowering for them. Like Sarah and I have talked, her daughter did it and, Hugh came to camp. I mean, it's just amazing to see them overcome challenges and become resilient,
Yeah.
like I can't do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So that's part of the job.
That's good. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having
Thank
us.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got on here, you may recall, we received a grant to do, a road erosion inventory. The RRPC has offered to contract with the town to undertake the road erosion inventory. The contract is $9,760, and as part of that, the town has to provide in-kind match in the amount of $2,440. And it's essentially the RRPC and one or more of our highway guys goes around and looks at all of the hydrologically connected segments and compile data of what's in compliance, what's not in compliance with the MRGP standard. So if someone wants to make a motion to permit me to sign this contract, I'd appreciate it.
Your motion?
Hang on, one question. Would that include the lake area?
Any roads that's has been identified by the state as connected to water, so yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, only imagine, sure. I would second it.
No, you make the mo,
I make the motion.
do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Any comments or questions by the board? All in favor?
Uh,
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Next I have on there is I'll sign this on before I forget. The, update on the South Street Bridge. I received a call from the state engineer on that project. I think it was on Friday afternoon. He just wanted to give me an idea where they are with the project. They're currently working on the impacted homeowners for the right-of-way agreements. They've secured 5 out of the 6 of the impacted landowners. And he said the last one, they've been having fruitful conversations on coming to an agreement. They're working on the final design of the bridge. One little snag that came up, it is that Act 250 had, the Hop Energy property has an Act 250 permit, and Act 250 is requiring an amendment to the permit for the impact that the bridge and the temporary bridge will have on that property. he stated that Hop Energy's representatives have been very cooperative in moving that amendment process along, but it is something that they're required to do. If Act 250 amendment goes smoothly and they're able to secure the last impacted property owner, they anticipate advertising the project for a bid in May. One thing that was brought to my attention by the engineer is possible lead paint from the old bridge. There is some earth that will have to be moved, and he's supposed to give me a memo, but basically you can either move the material, and if the town has its own property where it could store the material, you don't have to test the earth. If you do test it and there is lead contamination as part of the operating and maintenance agreement, that cost is borne by the town.
Mhm.
So,
For hazardous waste removal.
yeah, so I mean, his feeling is, the bridge is over 100 years old, so
Yeah.
I think it came up last time when we were gonna do some rehab of that bridge, the lead paint issue came up. If you remember, I think you were it was before I was on the board, but I'm
Yeah.
aware of it. So he's gonna put together a memo on that to explain that a little further of what our options are.
What it means, we don't have to test it. I'm confused. We test it and find out if it's got lead, or we don't have to test it and it could have lead.
Correct.
Storage.
Store it.
Or something.
Correct.
We're gonna store it and know that either does or doesn't have lead in it.
Yeah,
The whole
You have a
bridge.
big backyard. don't you?
More discussion.
It depends on how much earth they're gonna move.
yeah, he's supposed to let me know that. He didn't know or
They don't have
Friday.
to go down 3 feet by 3 feet,
Back here.
or if they gotta go down 6 feet by 6 feet by 6 feet.
Yeah.
Depends on how much earth they have to move, what they feel.
Because if you test it and it does test positive for lead, you've gotta pay to transport it, I think, out of state and ship to some facility where that's what they do.
Usually it's Clean Harbors would take that.
Where do we have to store it?
Huh?
I said, where would we have to put it?
I,
Depends again, it
Backyard.
Again, it depends on how much earth you have. If you have just a chunk of earth like this,
Right. So this is the
you
earth,
store it somewhere, but
not the bridge itself.
correct. This is if, cause he said they probably used to just, when they maintain it, take a wire brush or
Oh, yeah.
sandblast it and it falls wherever it falls.
The water went down.
In the water.
right down the stream.
So it's just a,
Portion there.
We won't know anything about that until they actually take it out. And
correct,
then we won't know the bottom dollar line
correct.
until we have the complete.
He did
size of
state
the earth.
that if you do go the testing route, sometimes, federal fund, if you go the testing route in the beginning and you find lead, sometimes federal funds
Yeah.
would help pay for that, but who knows in this climate, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't rely on federal funding at this point.
That's up for a lot more discussion, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, you got probably a year and a half before they even get into it, so. Things could change with federal funding by then, you don't know, we just have to, it's coming down the pipe one way.
It is, yeah.
Well, either way, we have to take care of it if it's.
Yes, yeah, you gotta take care.
Remember when we had the huge pile of contaminated soil in back at Henry Brook? A huge. That's not there for about 5, 6 years. They had to finally. Remember that, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
So it's just on the horizon.
Thank you.
I have here the local hazard mitigation plan. It's ready for adoption. You might recall that Billy Jones came to a recent meeting and he actually was kind enough to, put together the plan for us. There was a couple tweaks we had to make. It's essentially the same plan, that we've adopted, I guess, since I've been here. With updates, like if you know a new vulnerable, population center, such as a senior center or a new daycare, you identify that in your updated plans. If you've added new equipment, with your highway department that potentially is available to use in the event of an emergency event, you update that. But if someone wants to make a motion to permit me to sign this,
Your motion,
Sign the local hazard mitigation.
1 second.
and Cheryl second. Any comments, questions by the board? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
so the clerk gave me a couple liquor license renewals.
Liquor season.
Well, summertime's coming.
One's a second class tobacco substitute for the Tennybrook on Main Street. One is the same for those three renewals for this Tennybrook. And one is for the first class, third class, and outside consumption for the Lake St. Catherine Country Club.
I hear a motion to approve the liquor license.
Yes, I've been making motions.
Any comments or questions by the board? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
So if you want to sign that.
Yep.
Approval line for Jeff.
Thank you.
She also asked me, the Rutland County Solid Waste District asked us to sign their appointment form. You appointed me as the representative in our organization meeting in March. But they have their own form, so if Jeff can sign that for us, please, I'd appreciate it. We're applying for Class 2 paving grants. And as part of that, I have some paperwork that the board needs to sign. One is called the Certificate of Compliance for road standards. And one is called some financial plan. I can't remember what it's called. I forgot to print them out there on my computer. So if I can get signatures from people before we leave on that, I would appreciate it. And hopefully we get a Class 2 paving grant this year.
When will
We're
we
in
know?
spot number 2 out of 38,
Uh-huh.
so it sounds very convincing.
Now, is this the one that they take every 3 to 5 years and you move up the chain? Once you get it, you drop back down, you have to wait.
You drop back down, but Alan Glenn and I had a nice conversation with Brian Sanderson a couple of weeks ago, and he actually informed us that it's based off of a few different things. But yeah, I mean, there's 38 towns in this district. So you could be in 38th place, or you could be first place, or anywhere in between.
Again, the second one.
And we are in, the town is in second this year.
Well, how much are we looking at potentially?
Yeah, they hadn't released what this year's was gonna be at the time of the phone call, but I think it's right around the 200 or just under the 200,000 mark.
Per person or?
Municipality.
Yeah.
Per municipality. Good. Oh,
To the side.
That's good.
Bond.
what's that?
The village is on the bond
Not by the high school, I hope.
200,000 to get you 2 miles of road, that's about it. But that's better, a sharp stick in here.
We had some discussions recently about the health reimbursement account line items in the proposed budgets. And typically, at least since as far as back as our records can show us, that we treat the HRA as a pooled item. In other words, we budget X amount of dollars per employee and put it in one pot and hope that that pot pays for all the HRA expenses for that given year. As it was reported in the town report, the HRA expenses for the fiscal year 23-24 amounted to $83,854.48. And we only budgeted $68,430 between all the employees. As this board knows, we've been discussing the HRA and the health insurance. And the HRA and even the premiums are a guessing game, because the premiums switch in January. So, you got to guess what the premium is when you set it and what the premium is going to be halfway through the fiscal year. So it's sometimes a challenge. And the HRA, you hope that there's not a lot of catastrophic events for your employees.
Gotta really sit down with that this summer, sometime now that the budget's over, and we'll have a deep dive discussion and look through some of that. We haven't done that.
And we've actually reached out to some folks higher up in human resources about this, and this has actually always been on my mind since I started this job, with disclosures and HIPAA stuff about how we handle the HRA stuff. So I think as part of the bigger discussion about those items, I think we have to really hone in on some of that discussion as well.
So we're over 23,854.48. Where do we have that in the budget to cover that?
So we've reached out to the auditor about that. I don't think, and I haven't had a chance to ask the treasurer, I don't know if there's a separate fund like we have for equipment replacement.
What I was thinking.
So
Do we need to start something like that in our budgeting process so we don't get caught again?
yeah,
We do a lot of insurance talk.
We need to talk insurance. It's come to the point. Insurance is so.
So where is it charged? What line does it show on the audit report then? The 62,000 something?
well, I mean, the 62,000 is shown on that's not the audit report, it's our budget sheets.
So it's not going to show in the audit report under the health reimbursement.
I asked that question of Nisha recently. I said, I think we're gonna have to talk to Bonnie and see where in her actual report it is. I haven't drilled down on that yet.
I know, because I've gone line by line and I can't find it either.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure it out.
A few things we gotta get in line, especially we do have to break ground on insurances. That's coming up in the near future. Anything else, Paul?
Not at the moment.
Anybody have any questions for Paul?
Thanks for all you're doing. Yeah.
Right, thank you, Paul. Transact any other lawful select board business? I think we're okay. Rutland Regional Planning Commission?
So the regional commissioners last met on March 18th. And I'm going to crib from the executive director's report because there was quite a bit that was presented at that meeting. The next regional select board meetup is scheduled to take place April 9th at the Castleton Recreation Center. And I sent this previously to Cheryl because she had expressed interest the first time that it happened in attending one of the upcoming ones. So this is a meeting that RPC is going to be holding quarterly. And the first meeting was held in West Rutland. They had 20 select board members from 13 towns attend that meeting. So they had a really great discussion. They were talking about all sorts of things, reappraisals, paving, water systems, housing, that type of thing. So the next one is April 9th in Castleton. And this is your official invitation. You don't need an invitation, just show up. If you need more information, just let me know, or you can reach out to
What time is that?
Regional Planning Commission. It doesn't say in the report, but I can find that for you. Do you have it, Cheryl?
I just wondered if it was 6:30. I think that's what I had down then.
6:30 at night?
It's
I'll have to make sure of the time.
Yeah, she can let us know.
In which building? I guess.
it's the former village school, the one that's located,
Bird's eye,
yeah.
down that way.
Yeah. So, so the next thing is a presentation of the future land use map. So everyone, I think, knows that the RPC has been working for quite some time to update the regional plan. And part of that work and sort of reviewing Act 181 with the communities is presenting a draft future land use map. So the Regional Planning Commission will be reaching out to all of the communities within the county to schedule a special select board meeting. So this will take place in either April, May, or early June. The meeting will include the select board, planning commissioners, regional commissioners, and in Poultney, it would likely include the board or members of the designated town PDRC. So future land use mapping, this is related to Act 181, and it's really about how that legislation is rolling out, what it means for your designated downtown. One of the things that I've been working with some folks in the community recently on, and just to bring it here so that everyone is aware, is that there is an interim housing exemption for designated downtowns, which is in effect until January of 2027. So currently there's a variety of different rules around this, but housing is exempt in your designated downtown from an Act 250 permit during this time period. And I think it's a half a mile, there's a half a mile radius around your designated downtown. So the boundaries of the designated downtown are also impacted in that legislation. So when this originally came out, I did reach out to a few folks in the community that were interested in developing housing and let them know, but this is, it's good to be having this conversation a little bit more formally. So keep an eye out for that.
That just came out, right?
No, that was last session. The interim housing exemption was put into place, but it is in place until January of 2027. So
Okay.
trying to encourage more housing development, particularly in villages and towns, and especially designated downtowns or neighborhood development areas in the state. So that's happening. And then regional planning is looking to add projects to its brownfields program. As far as I know, Poultney has not applied for a brownfields reuse program project definitely since I've been here. I don't know if it had been a part of that program before, but there are a couple of locations in Poultney that have former uses that might qualify for this program. So, something to keep in mind. We will continue to talk about that. It's not
Who heads up that program?
going anywhere. Regional Planning Commission oversees the program with funds from the federal government.
Okay.
Yeah, should we look at the town maintenance of the garage for having any potential impact? As far as fuel, oil?
It's a possibility. I think some of what we will uncover with the current feasibility assessment
Right.
will help us to identify whether or not that makes sense to do as a next step.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, and then the only other thing that was in the report that I wanted to make sure the board knew about is that There is congressionally directed spending and community project funding, which I'm not familiar with the community project funding, but congressionally directed spending is a request to legislators to fund certain projects. I am planning to write a letter to both Senator Welch and Sanders for the town garage.
Oh, good, thank you.
So apparently these timelines are super short, like you have about a week or a week and a half to get that letter together, so. Yeah, that's what I'll be doing.
Well, I can type 5 words a minute if you can read.
I might need a quote, Jeff, I'll let you know. And I think that's it. So the transportation committee meets this week.
Okay,
The last committee meeting was February 27th. And that was still ongoing regional project prioritization for transportation projects. Joel popped into that for just a few minutes. I know you were working, but it's nice to have some representation there, but we don't have a project that is really on that list.
But those like bigger projects, like you said, Route 22A, those big projects.
Yeah, so let's see, they're looking at 103 Village Street Bridge in
Ludlow.
yeah, that could be Ludlow.
Well,
Yeah.
it's Ludlow.
There's a bridge in Wallingford, culvert in Fairhaven, which was a very large culvert. I think so. Culvert 04 in Fairhaven as the highest priority since its location on 22A at the on and off ramp of US 4. So
Well traveled road.
yeah, I know where that.
so they're prioritizing that, and then a bridge in Wallingford, which was in very poor condition. 2 that are on there right now.
Okay, is that it? Thank you. Any questions for Sarah?
Does the Act 250 exempt from housing affected college?
Good question.
I can't say. I don't know.
Oh.
But it is there, and they are aware of it.
Okay. Oh, public comments and concerns. Is that Patty? Hi, Patty. How are you? Oh, hey, congratulations. I see your new school board member.
Yeah. Over weekend. Just a couple, real quick, dump stickers. When we do fundraising up there, we see a lot of Wells people, Lower Hampton people come in, they've got dump stickers. And it's always had New York State plates or whatever, and it's always just a question of why? Or do they own property here? Are there circumstances for that? But anyway.
Those are questions you're hearing?
What? No.
Hey,
My question, you know, why they would have dump stickers? Because they're not Poultney residents.
And in going along with that, you don't know that they have a dump sticker, but they've got our bags and stuff.
Yeah, they do, but they,
And that's what makes you wonder too, are people going through excessive bags and they're giving them to other people?
I do know that I have a New York car because we are registered with my mother-in-law. So when I go up there with the truck, I usually have the truck. So when I pull in, I have a dump sticker, but I have grandma's car that I use. I mean, grandma's truck instead of my car.
And I know you can't check every sticker,
Yeah.
but that's what I've wondered about for a long time too.
I mean, we do our very best to, when we sell a sticker here, we do our very best that they, you know, they give us an address and, you know, if it's a tenant or something or somebody, they give us the landlord's name, but, you know, I don't know if I have the power. I certainly don't have the power of if, you know, son lives in Hampton, mom lives in Poultney, and son always brings mom's stuff to the transfer station. You know, I don't have the ability to police that for sure.
and that's understandable. Absolutely.
You know, we do our very best to ensure that they are entitled to the sticker by being a resident or a property owner of Poultney.
Lots of times don't, like people, people that come up for summer, they they have a lot of Connecticut, lot of Massachusetts people, and they're up to the transfer station, but they do buy a transfer station sticker to dispose of their.
I know this is probably more work, but why could people who own homes in Poultney be added a $25 fee for the dump sticker? When you get your bill, you get your dump sticker, and that ends it. I realize a lot of people rent too, but that might,
Patty, I didn't quite hear what you said. What'd you?
when you send out tax bills.
Oh, tax bills.
Yeah, and if I'm coming from Connecticut, but I own lake property, if I pay $20 extra on my tax bill, my dump sticker would be in that envelope. And that would get rid of a lot of questions. Okay, you're from Connecticut, so you have a sticker. Got it right here.
But you need the bags too.
Well, yeah,
Right.
yeah, but if they have a sticker, then maybe Dan or
Yeah.
can give them the bags. But just, that's not my main concern. Going back to the bridge. In the 1940s, the CCC ripraped that river going down through there.
Mhm.
So I can't believe there's not lead in there from all the cars. And will those cars be in the way as they work on that bridge?
She said, I'm confused on what you just said. The car is in the river?
Yeah, the CCC.
What's CCC?
It's the
Civilian Conservation Code.
yeah, a lot of Poultney whose family had moved on or whatever, or didn't have family around, worked for the CCC, and they took all the cars and they ripraped the river all the way down through. And
What's this word you're using?
They use it
Right.
for bank stabilization.
What does it mean?
They use the old car for bank stabilization.
they built barriers for these old cars, and they're in there all the way down through. And the reason I know is John Denty stopped one day and showed us, how and what they did and everything. But I just wondered if that would ever have an impact. I mean, obviously over the years, it probably hasn't because they're buried, but
I would imagine that any, oil and,
you're talking about lead. I hope
yeah, lead
they
and
go to
stuff.
dig
Boy,
it.
that's a good question, Patty. I guess we're gonna have to open that Trojan horse when we get there.
Well, my one thought was,
So it's fine.
if they start to dig and get prepared to put this bridge in them, and they, bypass the main bridge, are they gonna come across something?
Boy, we're gonna find out that, well, Patty, they did have a temporary bridge in there, remember? In
Yes, they
75?
Yep.
And
And they
I would
did.
imagine they dug it out then, so I would imagine, I can't say for sure, that a lot of that stuff is probably gone from that area.
Ended somewhere else. That's all.
Someplace else.
We were talking about the bridge one night, and the comment was saying, well, I wonder how many old cars are gonna be dig up. Oh,
Where would you find records about something like that?
Well, they've certainly been doing a lot of test borings.
Yeah.
Because of John Denty, and he gave us several names.
And Paul's Point, Patty, they've been doing a lot of test boring along there.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
Let the process on.
Yeah, we'll find out. When we hit that scenario.
Okay, I got two more quick ones. Tax sales. When houses are put up for tax sale, where is the information posted and how long is it posted?
It's usually advertised in the Rutland Herald. We used to advertise in the Lakes Region Free Press before they went digital. I don't know, you'd have to ask our attorney on how long, how often. It's controlled by statute, how often, how many times, how soon, etc.
Okay, my concern about the Rutland Herald is many people don't even bother buying the Herald. And your older people certainly are going to. And.
So you're thinking of another means of communication.
Well, how would people know?
I mean, I do the very best we can with what the law says we have to do. You know, I remember when the Dollar General was going through their permitting process and he had the big red P posted on the thing for the first hearing, and I said to someone that I see when I'm sitting in my office, walk through that parking lot every single day. I said, "Oh, you're gonna go to that hearing?" He goes, what hearing? What are you talking about? So I'm like, you know, we do what the law requires us to do. Is it the best method? We got to use what we have. Certainly more people read the Lakes Freaking Free Press, but unfortunately they're all digital now.
Right there.
So, you know, not to be rude, but I sometimes in this room say, I can't get on the church steeple and with my megaphone and make people pay attention.
Is there somewhere it could be posted in town?
For the post
I don't know.
office, that's what-
Used to be post office. used
Well,
to
but
be
we post notices as we're required by
Yeah.
law.
Right.
And if it's required to be posted in XYZ, that's what I do. So, you know,
Now, probably, I have found out a lot of the old people still do get the Rutland Hill. In my travels through town, it's the older folks that still value the paper or 8 paper. Not the young people. It's such a habit with the old folks.
How many it is?
Are you worried about people not finding out that their house is up for
Right.
sale?
You know,
Getting
if
to
I
take
said
advantage of the
from the state,
opportunities.
or if I'm interested in, you know, turning houses over,
Sure.
I wouldn't know until it's over and done, and then somebody say, well, you know, that house has been sold. Well, who knew? So it'd just be an informational type thing, but to say.
Well, the thing is we do follow what the law requires us to do. And it is hard. It's hard to get people to read things. It really,
And I get that, but like with the Herald or computers, your older population does not have access to that.
then,
No.
you know, how else do we do it then?
I don't know, but I think it's something that should be looked at.
Paul, we do the post office, we do post.
if our lawyer says you gotta post this in the post office, I post it in the post office.
Right, okay.
You're just asking for more.
I don't know. Someone said, do you put on your website? We put stuff on the website, and then someone says, I never look at your website.
Right.
So like, I mean, you can't win.
These parts.
It just seems like if it was posted somewhere in town and it was a known entity that it will be posted here for such and such a time, then if they don't go there, then so be it. But with the Herald or the computer and stuff like that, a lot of people cannot access that.
Okay.
Or redevelop if they're not accessing the paper or the internet. Because, I mean, we're talking about investors here, right? We're not talking about people needing to know about their house. We're talking about
Oh,
people.
no, people, investors.
Yeah, I mean, knowing I work in that space, I mean, I guess what I would say is that maybe that's the barrier to entry for making the profits of flips. I mean, they could post every single thing we do, and maybe the person that would check the sticker on the back of the car and align it with the resident.
When that comes up, we'll take a look at it
I'm just saying
when
it's-
it comes up.
I was
That's-
going to suggest, since the agendas for the meetings get posted in 5 different places, why can't, even though it might.
Actually, I think it's 3,
be
isn't it, Paul?
even though it may not be required by law, it would definitely get the word out, because I know people look in the library, they look in the post office, they look at the bulletin board outside by Toads to see the town, any postings from the select board. So I think that's readily available. Wouldn't take that much.
When
I mean, and then and then what do you do when if I did that, even though I'm not required to do that, and someone takes it off, and then they say, it wasn't there. You said you're gonna put it there. It's not there.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Those are.
I wouldn't worry about it. I'm telling you right now, we do what we're supposed to do for the law, and it's not good enough. So why would I not worry about that?
It's not that it's not good enough, just it doesn't reach.
It's not a perfect world. I use the tools that are available to me. One of them being the Rutland Herald.
We do vote.
If there was a Poultney Times Argus, I'd put it in the Poultney Times Argus probably. So it's like the dump sticker thing. Like, what am I going to do? Chase everyone around looking to make sure that you actually live where you say you live? I mean, it's
Okay,
It's-
well,
It's not to find fault, it's just questions that maybe.
it's frustrating because
we can,
it's constantly
we can.
you got to hold everybody's hand. Even though I say I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, well, just you should be doing more. It's frustrating.
I was not questioning them to do your job.
No, I'm not suggesting that, but it's frustrating that Mary Cerise says, well, it's easy enough to just put it over there.
I'll volunteer to do it.
And then if someone takes it down, someone's going to say, you said you're going to put it there and it wasn't there.
Okay, let's move on, because we're just going in a,
We do vote on this.
yeah,
Yes, we do.
Anyway,
We designated the 3 spots.
yeah. We voted on the
Oh, yeah.
3 spots to put it in. Okay, any other public comments and
yeah, I have a question. Joel can probably answer. How much does it cost to the new mower? New mower.
61 something.
61 was it?
I think it's 61 even.
Yeah.
It's in that.
I wanna
Yeah,
say without.
61,000.
200.
And it's in the bills there, 61,000.
Also, is there any update on when the town village merger committee meetings are going to resume?
No, we provided the consultant with, he had a list of questions that we answered for him. There was a couple of questions that we need clarification on, so we need to have some sort of a meeting with the consultant to clarify what he's looking for from us. So there's no meetings scheduled currently, but hopefully in the very near future.
Thank you.
I just have one quick question.
Okay,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I just wanted to thank it seems small, but it's really big to me that the Poultney Rec Department now has a website. That is huge for 3 children to figure, like, it's always this kerfuffle of getting it back and forth with the elementary school and writing checks. Like I write like 5 checks a year and that's one of them. So that's going to be huge for this town. And I think it'll pick up more enrollments. Not that that's an issue, but so I just wanted to thank you guys for that. The bikes, I wanted to say that I don't know if you're aware or if everybody else is aware that the PE teacher at Poultney Elementary School, he's just about to start doing it once mud season gets a little bit better, but this is his gym class. Like, that's what he does for gym for like 6-week units. He takes them out on the trails. And it like warms my heart to see that, because when you're riding a bike, you can't have a phone. I mean, I've seen it, but it's like, it looks dangerous. Yeah. So I think there's going to be like a huge influx of kids coming up too.
That's what a lot of us were hoping would happen.
Yeah.
So is he a new hire?
No, he's
Oh,
not.
he's just, so has he done a bike unit every?
I would
Yeah,
say
he's done a
it's been
few.
going on for like 6, 7 years.
Yeah, because you've got Tim helping with bikes, if kids need bikes or something, so they don't have to have
I'll
one.
have to connect
Yeah,
with
they
him.
have a
Yeah.
whole bunch of bikes. They have helmets. They encourage kids to bring their own and everything. But he goes over safety and don't go too far. So there's a lot that he's teaching them.
Katrin was going to do a mechanical class too down there on how to fix your bike.
I think it started coming in, because I know another school did that. They had a whole they brought in all the trails, all the bikes, and they fit the kids, talked to them about it, and they practiced bike safety by the school, and they went around and they showed them different things they could do. And some kids, even in 6th grade, couldn't ride a bike.
Right.
So they showed them how to do that and see if they would get used to it. So it started.
That's really good to
Built
hear.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of kids in rural communities say that they don't know how to ride a bike because they don't have a paved driveway or something. They
Mhm.
have friends that are my generation with kids that are in elementary school, and now that's not really, I don't want to say an excuse, but there's more opportunities now to learn how to ride a bike. So
Very good.
it's freedom. So I think that's really great.
Yeah.
I did have one question. I don't know if I missed this, if there was a meeting and I wasn't there in between the comments, but Raj sent out the letter, right? And you guys said that you would respond.
What we did is we did a motion for Rogers dogs not to be, he had to put
I don't think she's talking about the dogs.
Eating tax tables.
Oh, the townwide letter?
At our last meeting, I put
It's in his.
this board, which does not include me, their position in the minutes. I highlighted it and sent it to Raj and his team. I said, I said if he had any other offer that he wanted to discuss, I would bring it to the select board.
Mhm.
So that's what we did.
Thank you.
So we did respond. Okay. Thanks for the comments. Carol, you said you had one short one?
Yeah, it was just in conjunction with the rec program. So will everything be online or will you still be doing signing up in the office? I think the online program is excellent.
It'll be both.
It'll be
It'll
both.
Okay.
We're just trying to work out any kinks we might have, so there'll be both. If people want to come in, they can do it.
All right. Any other comments or concerns, Joel?
Yeah, to answer Mark's question earlier, yes, there's lake roads that are hydrologically connected. It's asphalt and gravel roads. I checked it after you asked, so I could get back to you on that. Mary Sue, the starting price on that tractor was 64.5. We got it down to 61, I believe. If we had wanted them to deliver it, I think we would have got it for 62.5. So we did knock it down the best we could to get the best deal we could, basically. And I forgot something, but all the talk of the youth and everything got me thinking about it again. I forgot to add something in the night. Now that I can't find it because I'm not a computer really great with computers, but
There's Jesse Rose too. Don't let me forget you.
Yeah, I was gonna mention
Yeah.
if anybody remembers the old plow that sat up front
Yeah.
of the
I noticed that.
many years rusting and falling apart, over the course of a couple of years and whatever spare time from rainy days or broken down equipment that we just really had nothing else we could do at the time. We got it all painted up to the orange and black point. And then I got a hold of Melissa Christensen at the high school. And she got a couple, I don't know how many, but a couple of the students to paint the lettering and the Blue Devil on there. Just thought it would be kind of something cool we don't, at the highway department, we don't get a lot of opportunity to involve community. So where we could tie it in.
You can't miss it when you drive by. Yeah.
I thought it'd be good to do that. And let the kids see it and, it's there for a few years so they can say, hey, I did that, or
No one's gonna pick it up
something to
and
be
take it
proud
from
of.
me.
I don't know, so.
Good.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good work.
Nice Christmas lights.
Okay, we have one more question from Jesse.
Good evening, Select Board and community members. How are you tonight? I am reaching out. I currently have a petition in draft that's circulating town for an ordinance that I'd like to have introduced. My question to the board and community members is, what would it take in order for the board to consider a vote on a new ordinance? My goal right now is I'm looking for at least 10% of the registered voters. From the statistics I found from 2022, at that time there was 2,171 registered voters. I did a preliminary poll and I received 5% of that. What would the board require to entertain an idea?
I think you should talk to the town clerk. She's in charge of elections. And she would tell you what percentage of the voters you need to have on a petition if you wanted to bring a special meeting for a town vote on the petition that you're proposing.
What is the petition?
The petition is for ATV, UTV usage on town roads.
She may advise you that, and I'm just speaking from the hip here. There may be a mechanism that the select board could choose to put a petition. Actually, there is a mechanism where the select board could choose to put a petition and or pass an ordinance by their own motion. But if you're specifically asking about a petition, you'd want to talk to the clerk.
Okay, I'll reach out to the clerk tomorrow afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At all?
Yes.
He answered your question.
Do I hear a motion to, oh, wait a minute, any other comments and concerns? Motion to sign the board orders?
I'll make a motion to sign the board order.
Any comments or questions by the board? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Do we need executive session
We
to?
do, and I was looking for my
Okay, we're gonna go into executive session
You wanna
at
do it
this
out?
time, and thank you everyone for for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, being here.
I gotta stand up.
313.
Have a good night.
They're the place in the board.
I want to second the motion.
Thanks, Joe.
Now you gotta sign.
A motion to adjourn. We came out of
Sure, I made
executive.
a motion to leave executive session at 8:44. Valerie seconded the motion. Motion passed with all in favor.
Out of executive session with no action. No action taken and motion to adjourn.
But we did.
Yep. No action taken. A motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. We're adjourned.